question I have is like, my wife came here like, 7 months ago, and then I sponsored her, and then, everything was good, and,
Great.
she got her green card at 2 years, conditional green
Right.
card and everything. And then I was just wondering about the new public charge rules, whether this is gonna affect her because I've been living in a Section 8 house.
She has a green card now?
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry about it. This only is prospectively, so it's for people who don't have green cards yet. You don't have to worry about it. She got her green card. It will have no effect on you. You can live in your Section 8 housing with her.
Okay, even through the citizenship,
Even through the citizenship, correct.
My I-130 is approved, but I trying to do just my status I-485, but I have a master hearing March.
Why do you have a master hearing? You're in deportation. Why?
No, I used to have a deportation order, but my motion 3 is open.
Ah, great. Okay. And
Yeah,
you reopened your case based on a marriage?
Yes.
Great. So what is your question now?
Can I do my I-485 adjustment status? Can I send it now?
No, you got to wait for the judge to give you permission to do it.
I have a question. My situation is I'm in removal procedures, and I have a I-130 approved, and we filed a motion to continue with the adjustment of status.
Right.
We just had a master calendar not too long ago
Right.
with the judge, and he gave us a new date, which is all the way until 2021.
Great. So they want you to get a green card by 2021, and then they'll terminate your proceedings.
But my question is the I-485, right? We have to file it through the judge?
No, you file it through immigration.
Through immigration.
Yeah.
And we will still be able to get the I-765
Yes.
also, right?
Yes. You have an attorney right now? You should have the services of an attorney if you're in removal. And it doesn't have to be me.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be me. But if you're in removal and you're going through removal without an attorney, the odds of you actually succeeding in your case are very, very small.
Can we file the I-765 even if we don't have a joint sponsor yet?
You need to file a joint sponsor if you need a second affidavit of support. You do it all one time. You don't want to get your case denied and then go back to the judge and say, I got a denied I-485, and then guess what? You're getting deported. Judge isn't going to give you time to go do it again a second time. Do it right the first time.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a 2-year green card. I wanted to find out if it's be an issue if I take a job in another state from where I currently live.
It's only an issue if your spouse doesn't come with you, and then at the end of the 2 years, you try to go to remove the conditions of your permanent residence, and you can't prove you and your spouse are living together.
Okay, so he would have to move with me
He
then.
would move with you, yeah.
Okay.
Right?
All right, thank you.
Or you're not getting along, get divorced, and prove it was a real marriage. I mean, but you're not going to be able to remove the conditions on a joint application with you in New York and him in Florida or wherever the two of you are.
I filed my AOS in September, and I got an RFP 2 weeks ago for IR64 asking for my joint sponsors.
Right.
It's like a more evidence of proof of income.
Right.
It's just like employer letter, future employment.
Right.
But my sponsor recently quit the job, and I cannot provide those information. So I just want to know if I can have a different sponsor who is actually a strong qualifier.
Yes,
for
you can submit a new affidavit of support from a second sponsor and say to please disqualify my first joint sponsor. I'm going to go with this joint sponsor instead.
Okay, so how should I do that? Do I have to write a letter or something?
Well, you would write a letter saying here's a new joint sponsor, and then you would have your old joint sponsor withdraw his affidavit of support. Person who filed the first joint application, write a letter, please withdraw my affidavit of support. I lost my job. Okay. Then at the same moment when you respond, here's a new affidavit of support with a new joint sponsor.
Okay, so same with the same RFP, I sent everything together.
Yes.
Hi, I have a situation. I'm a American citizen. I'm married to a Nigerian. He's not here yet because we ran across a problem. I thought I was divorced here, and I wasn't divorced. Now I am. I filed for a divorce.
Right.
How do I do this now? Because I married him there in Nigeria, and I was still married here. I got a divorce here now.
So now you were not free to marry him when you married him, and you didn't realize that. So now
correct.
you
But I
got
thought I
divorced.
was.
Right. Now you got divorced.
So my marriage to my husband in the United States was still active
I understand
when I
that,
thought it was not.
but you married a man in Nigeria, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
In Nigeria,
Right.
when I was
so
there.
that marriage is void under the law because you can't be married to two men at the same time. You can do one of two things. You can, which would be the fastest way to do it, is file a fiancé visa for him to come to the United States and marry you here. That would be the fastest thing. Or you can get on a plane, go back to Nigeria, marry him again, and then file for him again. If the idea is to get him to America as quickly as possible, file a fiancé visa along with an affidavit explaining everything, so that way when he goes to the embassy to pick up his fiancé visa, he doesn't get denied for misrepresentation saying he was married when he was single, because the fact is he believed he was married.
Okay, so I don't have to go there because I was told I had to go there and divorce him.
No, you don't, because it's a void marriage. It's not a legal marriage. No matter where I go in the world, I can't be married to two people at the same time.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
I married my husband in Nigeria. I flew down there. And we are in the process of doing an I-864. My best friend is going to sponsor him because I don't make enough.
Okay.
So we're filling the paperwork out for that. But my question is, my doctor has told me for the fourth time that she recommends that I file for disability because of my health issues. And so that I wanted to file for Medicaid because I don't have any insurance at the time right now. And I'm kind of in the process of jobs.
Those are two different things. Disability.
Okay.
Disability would not affect you filing for your spouse because disability is not what's called need-based assistance. I could be a millionaire or you could be a millionaire and apply for disability and still qualify for it. Versus Medicaid, which is need-based, you have to be below the poverty guideline to get Medicaid. And then that is government need-based assistance. That would affect the case. So if at all possible, disability, certainly yes. I don't want you to not have health insurance, but perhaps maybe do something on the Obama exchange or something if you can afford it.
I have known my husband since 2016.
Right.
And we applied for him in 2017 to come here on a visitor's, and they denied him because he didn't show enough interest going back to his job. Then I flew down there in February and married him. But I had an officer from the Consumer Fraud Affairs call me the other day and tell me that they thought that there was some fraud going on because I send my husband money, not large amounts,
you're allowed to send money.
Pay his phone bill.
You're allowed to send money to your spouse. As a matter of fact, that's proof it's a real marriage. By the way, whoever called regarding consumer fraud or whoever that was, and I hope you're watching, Shelley, has no effect on the immigration case.
Been deported in 2016. I'm back in Trinidad.
Why were you deported?
The reason is overstay.
Just an overstay, nothing else, no criminal record.
Well, I do have a little criminal record, domestic violence and DUI.
Okay, so that's how immigration caught you, from the domestic violence, right?
Years after everything was out of court and everything, and they just used that, I guess, as an excuse.
All right. So, how did you come to America on a visitor's visa? And then you were arrested 2 times, one for a DUI, one for domestic violence. You ultimately got deported. You have family in America?
Yeah, I have one daughter there still, but my other 2 children and my wife are here living with me in Trinidad.
Well, okay. So, what would you like?
We weren't married at the time. We just got married in January of this year.
Your wife's a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
All right. So, what we would need to do is look at your immigration records, look at your criminal reports, and make sure that you qualify for waivers to return after a prior deportation. Because not only do you need waivers for deportation, but you need waivers for whatever criminal convictions that you may have. Is it possible? Okay. Absolutely. It's based on hardship to your spouse and children, that they're suffering being with you in Trinidad, that life would be so much more pleasant for them, and it's an unreasonable hardship for them in Trinidad that they need to be back in America with you. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.